Hey guys, Kalltorak here. Today, I am bringing you my Trinity Thorns Tactician. This is probably my favorite Thorns build yet, mainly because of how different it feels from all of the other Thorn styles. The first biggest difference is we are playing with a quarterstaff. For those that do not enjoy the standard spear playstyle of Thorns, well, I would highly recommend trying out this build. Matsya is a unique spear that gives you 50% reduced spirit reservation. This is important because we are able to stack the support gem Thornskin 2 into as many spirit gems as possible now. When combined with Tactician's A Solid Plan, our spirit reservation is at 75%. Right now, with only 173 spirit, I have Trinity, which costs 100 spirit, Attrition, which is 60 spirit, and then Time of Need, Scavenge Plating, Mana Remnants, Charge Regulation, Defiance Banner, and War Banner, all which are 30 spirit. And then every one of these spirit gems has Thornskin 2, which costs 40 spirit, leading to a whopping 560% increased Thorns damage. I was originally leveling this character on a Ritualist. Actually got to level 89 before rerolling to the Tactician once I found out Matsya stacked with a solid plan. You can definitely do this style on multiple ascendancies, but Tactician feels wonderful. Tempest Flurry is arguably the best skill for Thorns in my mind. I have never tried Thorns with it, but holy crap, it's amazing. It has plus 8 to melee strike range and a big AoE radius when you put magnified area into it. The effect basically makes it look like you are shotgunning Thorns at your enemy. The AoE clear is amazing, possibly better than the spear version. Add on Killing Palm for mobility and charge generation, and this style feels so clean. So, why is this called Trinity Thorns? Well, we aren't playing traditional physical Thorns at all. In fact, you don't need physical Thorns damage on your gear. We are getting all of our Thorns damage from the Runes of Tithing. Runes of Tithing provide 1 to 100 Lightning Thorns damage. I currently have 9 slotted, and this is where almost all of our Thorns damage is coming from. When combined with Painter's Gloves, we convert that Lightning Thorns damage into all 3 elements. Trinity increases your elemental damage when you apply elemental ailments. And if you are applying all 3 equally, which we are, then you are at perma stacks of Trinity. This is a massive damage boost, especially when we combine it with the unique amulet Beacon of Aziz. Not only does it provide us additional spirit, but all of our elemental damage ignores resistances when we crit. I'm at 100% critical hit chance with Thorns, so yeah, this is a massive damage increase. As you can see though, this is very unique heavy. Thorns is already unique heavy, and we just added on unique gloves and a unique neck. How are we supposed to survive, especially without a shield? That's where this new chest, the Brass Dome, comes in. I have a feeling this is going to be the new meta purchase for Thorns. It provides a massive amount of armor, which we desperately need, but it also makes you take no bonus damage from critical hits. I was struggling to survive on both my Ritualist and my Tactician until I put this bad boy on. The amount of armor you get from this single piece is very nice. I am pretty damn tanky right now, not as tanky as my Warbringer, but it's close. In terms of performance, I do not think this is better than the traditional physical Thorns builds, but I think it's very close, and with some optimization, and maybe some love from GGG, this might become the dominant Thorns playstyle in future patches. Okay, let's dive in. Alright, gonna run you guys through the character. Again, this is my most fun Thorns character yet. I'm loving this. I want to push this further. I want to push this playstyle further. I think I might try this eventually on a Tactician. The no block is rough. You have to invest a lot more in the armor, and I also want to try it without the elemental stuff too. But yeah, the quarterstaff style is just a lot of fun. Let's just run through the character. And yeah, the core is Matsya. It stacks with a solid plan, so you get 75% reduced spirit reservation. As you can see here, there's a lot of spirit gems with Thorn skin in them, which is really cool. But yeah, it's just a fun different style for Thorns where you're not blocking, you have a quarterstaff, you really are just palming around a lot. It's really a lot of palm for generating charges, and you really use Tempest Flurry for like the big clear and rares and stuff, but it's a lot of palm for mobility, which is fun. Let's just dive through the skills. So yeah, Tempest Flurry, plus 8 melee strike range. Make sure you improve the quality on it. That's really the only thing that matters here. You can keep it low level, it's level 7, just get the quality improved because it increases the melee strike range. Lets you hit from way further away. It's like shotgun Thorns. I don't know how else to put it. Inside of it, I have Martial Tempo, Magnified Area, Armor Break, Barbs, and Quill Burst. Barbs 2. Now let's talk about, first of all, Magnified Area. It makes the area radius of this skill way bigger. You are able to it's a lot more cleave. This is a lot of where the shotgun effect is coming from. Make sure you have Magnified Area in Tempest Flurry. For the 4 link, you're going to want Rapid Attacks, Magnified Area, Barbs 2, and Quill Burst. Armor Break. So, We are not doing any physical damage with this, so we're not going to be armor breaking, but Quill Burst benefits from some support gems. This is going to sound weird. There's no way to put support gems into Thorns, but Quill Burst benefits from some support gems that are inside the socketed gem you're using, skill you're using. So Quill Burst can benefit from something like Armor Break. So while Barbs is not going to be breaking armor, when you hit a target and it explodes and hits the target around it, that's what Quill Burst does, that can break armor with its physical damage Thorns. So we are getting a lot of armor break from Armor Break 3 via Quill Burst inside Tempest Flurry. This won't break armor on bosses, this won't break armor on single target, it breaks armor on AoE cleave. And why is this important? Is because when mapping we need a lot more armor. The Thorns damage isn't that big of a deal for Scavenge Plating in this build. We're doing almost purely elemental Thorns, and yeah, the Scavenge Plating Thorns damage is nice, but it's mainly for the armor. You really want Scavenge Plating stacks while you're on the map for armor. It's huge for your survivability. So that's what Armor Break is in Tempest Flurry. You will not be getting much Armor Break in the campaign at all. This really doesn't start happening until you get better gear. You just have to be hitting hard enough with physical damage physical Thorns with the Quill Burst to break armor. For the next skill, we're going to talk about Killing Palm. Inside of it, I have Barbs 3. Might be swapping this back to Barbs 2. I was mainly using this for killing rares. We'll see. Rapid attacks, Quill Burst, and Charge Profusion. Nothing crazy here. This is mainly our mobility skill, and it's really good at mapping when we have this much Thorns damage. Like, the Quill Burst cleave can clear most of the area. When I put a 5 link into this, I'm probably going to put Ancestral Call onto it, so it cleaves 2 extra targets, and that's when I would swap back to Barbs 2. But yeah, this is really good for just moving around the map and mobility. And then all of the support gems, we are going to be having Thorn Skin 2. So let's just talk about all the support gems. As you can see here, I only have, oops, wrong setup, 173 Spirit in this setup. But I somehow have all of these Spirit gems. And that's because we're doing a 75% reduced Spirit reservation. So inside Trinity, we have Thorn Skin 2 and Cold Mastery. Inside Time of Need, we have Thorn Skin 2 and Compressed Duration. I'm thinking about dropping the banners. I'm not really liking banners. They're really slow, they're clunky. At one point I was playing with whoever pays best to get like easier banners, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of putting banners down. I was really only using them on bosses. Right now I'm messing around with the improved immobilization for like stunning, freezing, and electrocuting. I might swap the banners out for like Arctic Armor or something. I don't know. But I am using the banners right now. If we're going to keep the banners, you're going to put banner support gems in it, like Prolonged Duration and stuff. But War Banner has Thorn Skin, Scavenge Plating. We have Thorn Skin, Physical Mastery, Prolonged Duration. Mana Remnants, this is huge. We're using a percentage of damage taken converted to mana as a defensive layer. Mana Remnants is just a lot of extra like life. And then this is the only non-spirit gem that we're using that consumes spirit. This is the only support gem that we're using that consumes spirit that's not Thorn Skin. So Clarity 2 for just a little bit extra mana regen when we're in combat. Thorn Skin 2, Mana Remnants, Charge Pro Regulation, Thorn Skin 2, Attrition, Thorn Skin 2, Defiance Banner, Thorn Skin 2, Prolonged Duration. Now Resonating Shield, this could be dropped. I was using it earlier to try and get more armor break during mapping. I don't need it anymore. This could be dropped for just your standard race shield. And then when you have the extra skill slot, you could replace this with maybe Shattering Palm or another spirit gem if you have more spirit. Right now, I could get more spirit inside of Matsya by putting in 2 more Azkapas. Right now, I only needed 1 Azkapa to have my current setup, but if I put 2 more Azkapas in here, I could get another spirit gem in here and get a little bit more Thorns damage, and then just stop using Resonating Shield, and I only use Ray Shield. But Resonating Shield, yeah, that's my last skill gem right now. I usually only use this for bossing, for active block. Whenever there's a hit you know that you need to take for Thorns, but you can't survive it, that's what the shield is for. So you're always going to have a shield in your off setup for Ray Shield or Resonating Shield. You might want to swap this out if you have a little bit more spirit. Again, if you want to put an Azkapa in another Azkapa in your Matsya, you could probably get another spirit gem in with Thorn Skin, or maybe with 2 more. And then you have a little bit more damage, and you won't need Resonating Shield. You might see that optimization on this build eventually. But those are the skills. It's pretty straightforward. Again, you're just killing palming to move around the map. It generates you plenty of charges, as well as Tempest Flurry. Tempest Flurry generates you charges via Armor Break. And then Killing Palm generates you charges when it kills. It gets power charges, but also versus charge profusion, which gives you a chance to get additional random charges. So I'm always having charges. You'll see constantly I have little balls swirling around me. And charge regulation is constantly consuming them for more defenses, more skill speed, and more critical hit chance. It's a really fun system. It's really fun. All right, let's talk about the gear. Yeah, Matza, you're going to want to get one with 3 sockets, and you're going to want to put... I leveled with it with having it 3 Azkapas in it for 45 more spirit. If you want as many spirit gems as possible while leveling and them all juiced, put 3 Azkapas in them. Saqual Runes of the Sky are a great damage increase for all Thorns builds. Physical, elemental, doesn't matter. So you have to figure out the dance here of how many Azkapas per Saquals you have. Get as many spirit gems as possible. And then once you have that, you need to optimize around that. You know, I could get 1 more spirit gem potentially, so you might see me drop 2 of these for another spirit gem soon and ditch Resonating Shield. Let's talk about the rings. The rings are where a lot of our defenses are coming from. Max life, evasion rating. Evasion rating gets converted into armor for us, and then resistances. But what's very important before you buy your rings is they need to be unset rings. Unset rings give you 1 additional skill slot. You already see I'm capped on skill slots, and you're talking about how I'm wanting to drop Resonating Shield for another spirit gem. If I didn't have these unset rings, I'd be 2 skills shorter. I wouldn't have these 2 down here, so it'd just be these up here. So unset rings are required for this build, unfortunately. You have to get 2 of them. You have to get 2 of them. Alright, this chess piece. I think this chess piece is probably about to become super meta for Thorns across all Thorns play styles. It is very cheap. Now, there are some crafted rare chests that compete with this in a lot of ways, but they are very, very expensive. This is a budget item right now. I've crafted a handful of these the last few days. I've actually made a perfect one right here. 518% increased armor, 1 maximum to all, minus all elements res with 3 sockets. I do have a 4-socket one I can show you guys as well, so you can see what you're looking for. It's a combination of you either want more damage or slightly more armor. Here's my 4-socket one. So this one it puts me at 17,000 armor base with 16,000 physical or Thorns damage, and when I swap, I go to 17,000 Thorns damage, but down to 16,000 armor. Now there's a lot of like percent increased armor scaling. Like I defend with 200% armor from stay light cover, stay light, use cover, and stuff, so the extra armor ends up going a long way. I'm not sure what's better, but A, it gives us a lot of armor. We are armor stacking defensively. This is huge. Like, it just gives you a huge chunk of armor. This is 2,484 armor without having armor runes in it, with teethings in it, so this could give you even more armor. The armor is huge for us as a defensive layer, but what's really important here, the moment I started using this chest piece, I was dying so much on my Tactician and Ritualist, and I have stopped dying completely. The take no extra damage from critical hits is amazing. Like, it's just so damn good. I don't know how else to put it. Like, the moment I started using this chest, like, I feel like I'm going to be using this chest on all Thorns characters going forward because of a lot of reasons. Like, the high armor base, it scales our Thorns damage. We get 10% of armor from our equipped body armor as physical Thorns, and then the Heart of the Well, it gives us 56% increased equipped armor from body armor, Thorns body armor, and you can also get a percent of Thorns damage from your equipped body armor on the Heart of the Well. I went with percent increased Thorns critical hit chance, so I can be closer to 100% crit hit chance with Thorns, but as you can see here, if you had the percent increased Thorns damage from equipped body armor with this body armor, you're making up for a lot of Thorns damage you're missing. You're making up for a insane amount of armor, and then you're taking no additional damage from critical hits. Yeah, it's a very good chess piece for when we are on a strict item set where we're already using so many uniques, so we have to like make up ground someplace. So this chest is huge. I have a feeling this chest is about to become, like, maybe not best in slot, but like you're going to see this in most Thorns builds as like a budget piece, unless this is about to skyrocket in price, right? Like, this is cheap to craft, and I'm going to be using this on many Thorns characters and itemizing around it. It is awesome. I cannot recommend crafting yourself a brass dome. Get one with 3 to 4 sockets and as much armor as possible. I can't, again, I was dying like every 2 to 3 maps probably, just a random like splat death to Abyss or something, and I just never die now. I'm just so damn tanky. Pinnacle bosses, I'm still not tanky enough for. I want to talk about Warbringer and shield builds versus, like right now we're on topic of survivability, but shield builds just feel better, period. Like, blocking is just better. It gives you a lot more armor, it gives you a lot more survivability, you're going to completely negate attacks like half the time because you have 50% block cap. Like, it's just like, block is just better. Like, I can't debate that. So like, if you're talking about pure survivability, I feel like the Warbringer or the Titan options are still better, but You know, maybe if I ditch the elemental thorns, I could get a higher armor base and this would feel cool. But yeah, this chest piece alone has opened up non-block based thorns builds. So Brass Dome, highly recommend getting it. Painter's Gloves. So all of our thorns damage is basically coming from Runes of Tithing. We have 9 of them in our gear for 900 lightning thorns damage. This, first of all, it converts all of our elemental damage to the 3 types, so that's why we have a almost equal distribution of lightning, cold, and fire damage. But what's important about these gloves is they scale the damage up. Gain 10% of elemental damage, gain 10% of 8% of elemental damage, gain 7% of elemental damage, extra, right? This scales up our thorns damage. You can see here, without them, I'm at 11,000 thorns, and I go up to 16,000. All of that's not coming just from the teethings and the thorn scaling. A lot of that's coming from the elemental damage conversion. Like, as you can see here, it's just... It goes from 5,000 thorns damage to, like, the lightning thorns doesn't even go down much. So it's just, it's a big damage gain. Get as high as you can. I have plus 25% gain on the gloves, but you really want the 3 sockets too. So 3 sockets with as much gain as possible. On your amulet, you want just a Beacon of Z's. That's a bunch of spirit. We need spirit. And critical hits ignore enemy elemental res. I am at 94% critical hit chance. I could be at 100 if I wanted to push it a little bit further. But yeah, all of my crits ignore elemental res, and I'm doing mostly elemental damage, so it's just a big damage increase. For the helmet and boots, these are standard Thorns items, Crown of the Pale King and Briar Patch. Both required. Get them with 3 sockets as possible. If not, get 2 sockets. And then on your belt, you don't need Thorns damage on it. It does help just a little bit with getting the armor break going at the beginning of maps, but I would just focus on getting as defensive as a belt as possible. Darkness Enthroned is good. I was using Darkness Enthroned for a while on the Ritualist. It just, I needed the defenses for survivability. At one point, though, I had a Darkness Enthroned with 2 Stag Talismans in it that was getting me very easily to 100%. And then I was able to put Teethings into the helmet. I also tried Teethings into the Darkness Enthroned for more Thorns damage. Again, it was obviously very good for damage, but it was Glass Canyon. So, when you're playing a style where you have to take damage to deal damage, you can't be too Glass Canyon-y. So, Darkness Enthroned is awesome, but we just get too much defenses from a belt right now. Like, without it, I'm not even close to res cap, right? Like, yeah, 45, 53, 50. Like, maybe with more armor, I could maybe survive some elemental hits, but that's a bit risky. So yeah, the belt just feels needed. In the off setup, you just want a shield with a scepter, just so you can keep your spirit gems going. Maybe use one of the palm scepters with a shield. It's just really so you have a block. I wouldn't worry too much about your off weapon setups. But that is the gear. Let's talk about the passive tree. So again, we're going to Tactician for the 50% less spirit reservation. And then we have all this armor stuff here just to make me tankier. And then, yeah, it's either between whoever pays best for the banner stuff, excuse me, and the immobilization stuff. I'm trying immobilization right now. I don't like the banners. Like, they're really slow to put down, and I was really only using them on bosses, and they didn't seem too impactful on bosses. I doubt the immobilization stuff's going to help too much either. The last 2 ascendancy points feel like a wash. You're probably better off in the banner stuff or bossing, but I don't know. Nothing else really matters for the build. Looking at the passive tree, so yeah, we have a high armor base, so sturdy metal is amazing. A lot of this stuff right here is standard for thorns and armor stacking. I mean, iron reflexes gives us a good amount of armor. Fast metabolism standard for leech thorns. Tempered defenses is going to be standard in every armor build. Thorns leech, and then instant leech is nice. This pathing right here, I feel like is going to be a prime path for... You're going to see this path route basically in all armor stack builds. It is just too good. This is amazing, 25% increased armor, and then you gain stun threshold based off the armor on your equipped items. It makes you basically immune to stuns. Like, it's so damn nice. Blade Catcher is really cool because it combines with the Brass Dome, so you take no extra damage from critical hits, but that doesn't mean you don't take critical hits. So you're still being crit, and that reduces the bonus damage to 0, and then Blade Catcher defends that critical hit with 200% extra armor. So I believe technically this is making critical hits do less damage than normal hits. This would just make critical hits do normal damage, but now with Blade Catcher, you are making them do slightly less damage. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think this is going to save you from, like, big boss one-shots. I doubt it's super good. I don't know. People who are smarter than me with the math stuff, they'll let me know in the comments. But worst case, you're getting 15 strength for 1 passive point. But I do believe that there is some benefit to no damage from 2 critical hits, and then also reducing it further with just a little bit extra armor. Yeah. Unbending for the max life and stun threshold. Thorns damage. Path Through here is pretty standard for the elemental conversion. Revenge for the percent increased damage for the thorns, as well as the armor stuff. Thorns crit, and then the crit damage bonus. Now, if you want more crit chance, you can take Vulgar Methods. It's only 3 points for more crit chance. You can try and get rid of one of the Stag Talismans, like if you're just don't have the Heart of the Well base crit on it, or you have a Briar Patch with less thorns base crit or something like that. You can take these 3 points for crit hit chance though, but I haven't needed them. Nothing up here. Projectile Bulwark to defend against projectiles with more armor. Ancient Aegis for 60% more armor from equipped body armor. We have a thick-ass body armor, so this is huge. Path Through here, get Storm Charge, all natural, and then we get Adverse Growth. We need damage taken recouped as mana because a portion of how we're mitigating damage is through damage taken converted to mana. We have 10% damage taken from mana before life through that Anoint. And then we also have 2 jewels that have 4% damage taken from mana before life. I needed this to survive a lot early on, especially before I got the Brass Dome. It's possible this is no longer needed. I think it is, though, especially during bossing. I'll have to test more, but this has felt good for most of the journey. Just don't do the mana damage taken before life until you get Adverse Growth, because you're going to find yourself running out of mana too much. Now, if I did drop this, let's just say I found a way to itemize better, or you're not doing the Elemental Trinity Thorns, then you don't need to do this. Potentially, you could lean further into armor stacking. If you're just doing physical thorns with the Matsya, then of course you don't need a lot of this. But because I'm doing Elemental Trinity Thorns, yeah. And then for Trinity, I didn't really talk about at the beginning of the video, but because we're using Painter's Gloves, we were basically at perma-stacks Trinity, and this is a big damage increase. Like, I go up to like 30,000 damage in combat with Trinity scaling. Like, you gain 6% more element damage per 30 resonance, and we are basically at permanent resonance of all 3 types. It also gives you 15% increased skill speed, so you're flying around the map. So, yeah, that's why Trinity is just so good. I should have talked about this at the beginning of the video, or at least the beginning of this breakdown. But yeah, Trinity is just incredible. And yeah, that's the passive tree. Again, Heart of the Well Jewel, Thorns crit hit chance, or Thorns damage based off body armor, and then percent increased body armor from equipped body armor. In your red jewels, you're going to get, if you have red jewels, you're going to have armor, percent increased armor, and percent increased thorns damage. And in your blue jewels, you're going to want percent damage taken from mana before life, and then 15% increased elemental damage. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Really fun playstyle. I can't wait to optimize it more. I have a feeling it's going to be better without doing elemental thorns. The Trinity Thorns is really, really cool and very good, but I feel like if I were to do this same style on a Titan, doing physical armor stacking thorns, I might get better results. But yeah, head over to my channel, you guys. If you haven't, go down to the community section. I have a community post where I put a poll for my next Thorns character. It looks like Chaos Thorns Lich is winning, but yeah, go vote on that if you want to see what I'm playing next. And yeah, really fun build, guys. It's expensive, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, that's the build. Like I said at the start, it's probably my favorite Thorns playstyle. Curious how much further it can be pushed, but only time will tell. If you're liking the content, please subscribe. Apologies to Darth microtransaction, we once again ran out of time. Take care, boys. See you in the next one.